feel like Gordon Bombay would have taken his career to even further heights.
Everything's flashy, everything's cocaine, everything's
Fun.
Open wide for some soccer!
I don't care what your personal thoughts are at home. I care that you hate the
Call
Cowboys.
this college rule!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Experience Podcast. Dom and Chris here, just a couple comics here in Tucson, Arizona, who love sports and talking about sports. And before we begin, as always, make sure you watch our videos, like, follow, share, subscribe on all podcast platforms. And Chris, who do we got today?
We got the Moss Man,
Yes,
which
we
was
do.
not his nickname. We're talking Randy Moss.
The Freak.
One of the, yeah, that was his nickname. One of the greatest wide receivers probably ever, I would say. He, especially in his era, he was one of those guys that was just feared by defenses.
I don't think you could rank him lower than 3.
Yeah. I don't know if you could.
I don't know with how good he was. Literally only one thing is missing from his career, which we'll get into.
Yep.
But Randy Gene Moss, born February 13th, 1977 in Rand, West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Born into poverty, not much of a way out. Sports are big there, but no one ever parlays that into much success in the past.
Yes, in where he was growing up. There wasn't a lot of people making it out of there for sports.
Yeah. Mom, Maxine, raised him. His half-brother, Eric, was an offensive tackle for the Vikings.
I saw that.
Point. Went to Ohio State. And he had a sister. Randy is just great at everything athletic-wise. We talk about a lot of players and athletes in this podcast where they're good at everything. This dude, if you don't know who he is and you've been living on Mars, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Just a freak.
He's one of those guys that, and they said this, they were like, if he wasn't playing football, he would have went pro in basketball. If he wasn't playing basketball, he could have went pro in baseball. If he wasn't making, or if he didn't go to baseball, he could have made no money playing or running track.
I bet you could have played hockey. Fuck, badminton.
Yes.
Take the shuttlecock with you, Randy.
We're a shuttlecock kind of podcast.
We need to do a badminton player
We
at
should.
some point. We should.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Yeah, basketball, baseball, football, track and field. Good Lord. He was on the debate team, I read.
Oh, I saw
in
that
high
too.
school.
You want to settle this with a 40-yard dash? No, Randy, I don't want to settle it with a 40-yard
Randy,
dash.
you're faster than everyone in this entire state, possibly country.
So we went to DuPont High School.
DuPont, yeah.
DuPont, and then he back-to-back state championships
For football.
I think he averaged 30 points in basketball.
Which, 6'4", 200 pounds as a shooting, he would have been like a shorter grandmama.
Yes.
Like,
No, seriously.
Just like when you watch those basketball highlights in high school, you're like, that was like a 45-inch vertical
Yes.
from a 16-year-old. And he played with Bobby Howard, who
Yep.
played for the Bears in the NFL on the football team. And on the basketball team, played with White Chocolate Jason Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
The other Jason Williams.
The non-murder Jason.
Yes.
The awesome point guard Jason Williams.
That's how we should describe it. The non-murdering Jason Williams.
But he's White Chocolate.
I know.
That was, to this day, my favorite Nike commercial. If you go back and watch it, it's where they show basketball highlights of them in high school, and they're playing the Dukes of Hazzard theme in the background.
Yes.
Like, oh, God. Those high school basketball games must have been fucking lit, dude.
Oh, they must have been so fun if you were going to that high school, and so horrible if you're going to their rivals.
Are you kidding me? If I played on the other team, I'd be like, what I'm witnessing now is pretty fucking cool. I mean,
it's like
we
playing,
suck in comparison.
Yeah,
but
it's like playing against LeBron, where you're just like, this sucks, but it's also really cool. It sucks that we're obviously going to lose, but goddamn, it's just cool.
Oh, I wrote down on the debate team, do you think he yelled, DuPont High School football rules?
Yep.
Had to get the Billy Madison. Oh, in there. Yeah, 30 points a game in basketball, 13.7 boards, 5.1 steals, and 3.8 blocks.
That's what I mean. He was such an unbelievable athlete that if football didn't work out, basketball would have. If basketball didn't work out, probably baseball.
So the track team, he won state in the 100 and 200 meters, and he did it for fun.
Yeah.
And baseball, played center field for fun.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Just for shits and giggles.
But
So,
football is his sport.
yes.
It's kind of designed perfectly for someone who, and I mean, he was versatile. I think it said he played receiver, free safety, kick return, punt return, kicker, and punter. He's the David Kalaiki Ali'i of fucking West Virginia.
But seriously, he literally did everything, played both sides of the ball and special teams and kicked. And he just did everything on the gridiron, and he wants to go to Notre Dame. His brothers, like you said, at Ohio State, that was the other viable option for him. But he was like one of those kids that I imagine grew up watching Notre Dame like on Saturday with those.
That was the thing I saw in the interview where he said, I wanted to play at Notre Dame because you are guaranteed to be on TV every weekend.
Every weekend. Those gold helmets, it's so iconic that's what their recruiting was. They were like, you want to play for us.
It used to be.
Yeah. Hey,
I wish my dad were still around. Yeah, it fucking used to be.
Yeah, fucking hey. But seriously though, that was the only recruiting they needed to do was be on the only team on every single Saturday.
So he's set to go to Notre Dame. That's actually where Bobby Howard went.
Oh yeah.
So
yes,
he was going to go with him to Notre Dame. Everything is set. He's the number one high school player, in the class as a wide receiver, All-American, everything. And then March 23rd, 1995 happens.
We get an incident.
In a place apparently called Redneck Alley there at DuPont.
So, I mean, this obviously happens. It's not even like it's so ridiculous for just whatever. His friends, they're walking down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. The white hallway.
A couple of white students say some racial things to his friend. Fight breaks out. Randy hops in, and they beat the shit out of these guys.
Yeah, and Randy does a lot of the ass kicking.
Yes.
Like,
6'4".
Yeah, that's what I mean, is he hands out a beating. Probably shouldn't be a crime, but it's technically assault, like you're defending your buddy.
I was just going to say, we're not pro-violence, but there's certain cases where you're like, yeah, those guys deserve to get their asses kicked. And Randy beat the shit out of these guys.
You can say those words.
Yeah.
But things like that might happen if you say them.
Exactly.
So, August 1st, 1995, it's a big fucking hullabaloo, especially in West Virginia.
Where there probably was very racist against him even after the fact. Like, can you believe these fucking burp, you know what I mean?
And he just turned 18, too.
So it was...
So he's being tried as... Luckily, he's able to go down to 2 counts of misdemeanor battery.
As opposed to felony assault.
So... It's 30 days in jail. He serves him for 3, and then he has to do the rest of the 27 days, 18 months after completing his freshman year of high school.
Yes.
The shitty part is Notre Dame says he can't go there.
Because Notre Dame is, I mean...
none of the stuff my dad told me about in the 70s and what those players did there. So much worse than Randy Moss. It really was.
It's because you had to already have been on the team.
Oh, God.
And then they protect you.
Vatican, what are they doing? Randy, you can't come here.
It's just not the type of crimes that they like,
Oh, you need to be committing crimes against humanity, not defending your friend in a racial fight. Oh, no. Randy, could you have just boofed him? Come on,
God.
Randy.
You would have been playing for Notre Dame. They would have won another national championship.
Oh, God. So, Keebler Elf Lou Holtz, we discussed him in the Tim Brown episode, who referred to him as the best high school player he's ever seen.
Yes.
Lou Holtz actually does him a huge solid because he's like, look, my hands are tied. I can't take you, but I know Bobby Bowden. And Bobby Bowden started at West Virginia. That's where he started before he went to Florida State.
Yep.
Bobby Bowden's just like, oh, sweet Jesus.
Thank God. At Florida State,
his quote was, they had just come off a national championship in 93, but his quote was, when talking about Randy Moss, he was as good as Deion Sanders. Deion was my measuring stick for athleticism. Randy was just taller.
Yep. Literally. So,
and Florida State in 95. So Randy has to redshirt 95 because you can't go at the time. There's no transfer portal. You have to sit out. He would have entered a team in 1996 with Lavernius Coles, Peter Warwick, listen to that episode, and fucking Ron Duggins.
Yeah.
E.G. Green.
They
might have won 4 in a fucking row from 96 to 99.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, Randy's going to leave earlier than that just because how good he is. But that's the type of talent that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to Tallahassee, no problems. He's lighting up the scout team.
But he's still on probation.
And he's a fucking idiot. Like, let's be honest, he's an idiot for what he does here.
Yes.
Because we might not agree with the rules, but you still got to follow them.
Yes.
You still got to follow
So he's still on probation, and he smokes some of that wacky tobacco.
Yes, he does.
And gets busted because they're drug testing him. So it's like, it really is a stupid kid thing to think like, I'm going to smoke this weed, it's not going to show up in my piss. Like, it really is stupid. And Florida State, unlike Notre Dame, I feel like their hands are tied. Notre Dame, they could have been like, yeah, that's fine. He was protecting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean,
Florida State, they were just like, dude, we have to kick you off the team for this.
Like they were probably taking some heat, but like they're of the impression where it's just like, dude, you don't have any strikes once you get here. Don't fuck up.
Yes.
He fucked up.
Yep.
And they had to be like, all right, well, we still have all these other great receivers.
I know.
But like,
yes.
we could have had this guy.
Yes, exactly.
So in 96, he has to go all the way back to West Virginia where he did not want to come back to.
No, so he goes to Marshall, and I didn't fully understand this, but there was something with the division that Marshall.
Okay. I got
that's,
you.
I literally wanted to ask you about this.
So in 1996, not coached by Matthew McConaughey at this time.
Which was a mistake.
Never should have fired him. Margaritas and senoritas in Huntington, West Virginia, motherfuckers. I'll tell you what. But no, so Marshall in 1996 is actually still in 1AA. So
Okay.
you know how we talk about the transfer portal? So the reason he has to sit out a year from going from Notre Dame to Florida State is Division 1A. You're not allowed to transfer to another school unless it's like a SMU or Sandusky situation.
Yes.
Marshall, you were able to transfer, and a lot of guys would do this, is you'll go back to 1AA, and you don't have to burn a year of eligibility.
Okay.
So, and it's vice versa. If you had played at, a 1AA school, you could go.
You could go and not burn a year.
Yeah. So the reason he does that, he probably would have, if it were available, he would have gone to West Virginia.
Yeah.
But that would have been another fucking year lost.
Okay.
So and Marshall's prepared to go to Division 1A in 1997.
Oh.
So they're in their last year of 1AA. So it kind of works out for both of them.
Yeah.
So he goes to Marshall in 1996, and their quarterback was a fun and gun guy at Florida who lost out on the starting job, Eric Kresser.
Oh.
So Marshall's actually really good in Division 1AA.
They're ready to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1996, probably the greatest season by somebody at that collegiate level since maybe Walter Payton.
Yep.
If not ever. So they go 15-0. He sets records for most games with a touchdown catch, 14. Most in a row, 13. Most in a season, 20.
28 in a season.
So mind you, he was projected to dominate guys at programs like Notre Dame and Florida State. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to Marshall. Jesus Christ. He's so much better than the competition there.
He's faster, he's taller, his hands are that much better, and because he plays 2 years at Marshall.
He even runs on the track team for funsies.
Yes.
He
He literally said, because he didn't run track since high school.
Yeah.
Not competitively. And then literally they were like, did you want to do the 100? And he was like, sure.
You're faster than everybody here. And we'll set some Southern Conference personal bests.
Yep.
They win the national championship in 96. They beat Montana in the national championship game. He had 4 tutties.
Yep.
So he's the Division 1AA national champion. And since he has to play another year of college football, 1997, they're in Division 1A. And then Chad Pennington just replaces Eric Kresser. A very good NFL quarterback for a long time. They lose their opener to West Virginia, but it doesn't matter. He still plays a great game. Mm-hmm. Finishes the year 90 grabs, 1,647 yards, and 25 touchdown catches. Oh,
Crazy.
my God. They make a bowl game. They go to the Motor City Bowl. They lose to, I believe, Mississippi, 34-31. Has some amazing highlights this year. Did you see that Army catch on that slant?
No.
He basically shakes this tackle, but he hurdles a guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he goes, I forget how long it was. It was like 70, 80 yards. He had 5 catches for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. He's the MAC Offensive Player of the Year. He goes to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Ends up losing to, he finishes 4th behind Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, and Charles Woodson. It was that Heisman, Chris.
Well, I saw that.
Nobody can take it away from you, Randy Moss.
I saw that he was one of the main things was he had great hands, but his ability to run after the catch. He had so many like 40-yard runs after the catch.
He's one of those guys where you don't think he's going fast because his legs are so long.
Yep.
But the strides that he's taking, and you're just like, he ran away from 11 guys.
Yes, seriously.
Like, in the moment, you're just like, but once he gets that head of steam, it's over.
It's over.
It's just over. He has that type of speed's the name of the game.
Hey.
At that position, but he literally has every tool as a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Flat paper hands, the ability to jump, the speed, the ability to run. Not all like he's not a Wes Welker in terms of routes, but for a guy of his size, the type of hip flexibility he has, really good route runner.
Yes.
For someone that big, just wingspan too. Just the overall
Everything.
He has literally everything in his bag of tricks. So you're thinking in the 1998 NFL draft, which is one of the most stacked drafts fucking ever when you look back on it, especially the last like 25, 30 years. Yeah, 30 years, I guess now. You're thinking he's going to be a high pick.
And a lot of people are saying like his off-field stuff, we're not looking at that because he was such a great receiver. It's not going to really affect his draft placing. The Cowboys were the team that literally were like, hey, we want you. You're our guy. We're picking you. I think he was supposed to be the first wide receiver off the board.
And he ran. So why do you think in our Music City Miracle episode and all the other or all the other Tennessee Titan episodes like Steve McNair, I call him not Randy Moss.
Yep.
Kevin Dyson.
Yep.
You're not Randy Moss.
Because he came off the board. And
that is a Jeff Fisher abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it that. No, I mean, making it to the NFL is great, Kevin Dyson, but Randy Moss was there.
Yes. And he said, he was like, I thought I was going to the Cowboys. The Cowboys said they didn't want another player with off-field problems. And Michael Irvin came out and said, he just goes, I feel like it was my fault that he didn't get drafted to the Cowboys because they were dealing with so much of my shit in that offseason.
Oh, the White House and stabbing people in the neck with scissors never changed. People don't forget, Michael.
Nope.
People don't forget.
So
two things. Number one, I didn't want to bring up. He ran a 4.25 in his workouts.
Yep.
I get you want to take Peyton Manning or want to experiment with Ryan Leaf. What the fuck, dude?
I know.
What the fuck?
Those numbers today, they'd be like, he killed somebody at Florida. We're still going to draft him.
He bath salted someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still going to draft him.
The other thing with the Cowboys, it was another Norm joke in that monologue. He's like, he was talking to Jerry, and he wants to get the Cowboys back on track. And he said, we need to get back to what made us good in the 90s. Strippers and crack.
Yep. And they blew it.
We miss you, Norm.
Yeah.
We don't miss the Cowboys being good, but
No.
we miss you, Norm.
Yes.
We
And the
miss you
Cowboys
so
will never be good because Jerry Jones is the worst owner.
Here's a half-eaten ham sandwich and a used condom. Micah Parsons on your way.
Come on.
Oh, God.
2 first-round picks that's going to be like 26 and 28.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was my first thought when I saw those. You execute those trades to franchises like poverty franchises like fucking Jacksonville or
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Where you know that's going to be high.
And it's not.
Oh,
the
and
Packers are going to be so
Trade
good.
him to your biggest rev. I'm sure Don Meredith was just beyond the grave going, what the fuck are you doing?
It's so bad.
So, to as shitty as it must have felt for Randy, he does go to a perfect place.
Yes.
In Minnesota. Because you got Chris Carter, who's dealt with some problems before. You don't need to be the guy right away.
Yep.
A franchise who's stacked on offense already. And a
pass-heavy offense.
Pass-heavy offense. And a good team. Just a good team where you're not... the spotlight's not going to be on you unless you put it on yourself, And my God, does he?
I was going to say, this rookie year is he must have had so much of I want to show not just the Cowboys, because there were other teams that needed wide receivers that passed on him.
Oh yeah,
but the Cowboys were the big one. They flew him out and were like, "We're picking you," and then we're like, "We're not picking you."
So I was 11 and I remember watching this draft, and the Steelers needed a wide receiver really badly, and they were picking just behind Minnesota, and I was thinking, "Oh God, please, Randy Moss, for the love of God!" And then they picked Alan Faneca instead. So I was like, all right. This worked out, but God, Randy Moss. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. Especially this rookie year, dude.
Especially dropping 20 to 23rd or 22nd.
I think it was 21.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he got drafted 21. But dropping that low, it really is one of those things where you're just like, all those other teams in the 20s were like, holy shit, we got a shot at this.
Yeah, right. Just we don't want to bet the farm, but you know goddamn well he's at the top of what's left of our board.
Yes.
So Brad Johnson goes down in the second game, but it doesn't matter because you bring out the new and improved Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
And up until I think that fucking Satan team in 2007, which he's also a part of, they're the highest scoring offense in NFL history.
Yes.
That year as a rookie, 69 grabs, 1,313 yards, 17 touchdowns receiving.
Makes a Pro Bowl, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was third in MVP voting.
You don't see, especially, so that's the thing about the receiver position. It's not, a lot of the time when you see guys transitioning from college to pro, it's a lot of the times they're running backs.
Yes.
Because you're in the right system, you know what to do. Maybe your line's better than it was in college, Receiver takes a lot in the NFL, especially the way that it's so pass heavy now, where, especially if you don't have the strength to deal with these bump and run corners. From day one, he looked like he belonged.
Yes. He looked like a 8-year veteran.
Yeah.
From day one.
So we get to the playoffs. They finish 15-1. 15. Thanksgiving. I didn't want to bring that up because they do play Dallas.
They play Dallas, yes.
So they play Dallas on Thanksgiving. 3 catches, which you're thinking, oh, okay, Dallas double covered him. 163 yards, all touchdowns.
Yes. Three catches, 3 touchdowns, 163 yards.
All over 50 yards.
Yep. Yeah.
The one that I liked the most was that shorter route that he caught, and he just ran away from everyone.
He just took off, and you're like, holy shit. Like you were saying, he doesn't look like he's running fast until you see other fast guys trying to catch him, and you're like, God, Randy's so fast.
It's when you see where his feet come down, because you're like, that was like 3 yards he just covered.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones had to be about 3 bottles deep into that Johnny Walker Blue at that point.
Oh, my God.
He probably bitch slapped Michael Irvin in the locker room.
This is your fault.
See what you made me do, Michael. Jerry, you could just get a GM to do all the football things. Not how this works.
Yep.
But we get to the playoffs. He has a receiving touchdown in the divisional round against the Cardinals. And then we get to the NFC title game. We did an episode on this in our playoff block, so go check that out. We named it Misery at the Metrodome, and I think you'll know why. Randy has a great game. He almost wins the game in overtime on a bomb. They're heavily favored against the Falcons, and they just come up short.
Yes. It's just one of those games where you're like, they should have won. They were the better team, but that's not how sports, it's not like on paper and then you just win.
If Gary Anderson makes that field goal, we're not even talking about this.
No, I know.
We
might even be talking about a Vikings Super Bowl win because they were so good that year.
But see, that's what interests me about that. When I was thinking about Moss with this whole thing, Atlanta beat them, and so did Tampa Bay with big running backs and the running game and keeping them off the field. That was the year Terrell Davis won the MVP and had 2,000 yards rushing.
And just controlling the clock.
So, like, that would have been a Super Bowl where I think Davis wins his second MVP in a row if they win, and Elway doesn't win that. And Elway would have been just like, yeah, I'm going to give him the ball. They're not going to see the field.
Yes.
Fuck that shit.
Yep.
But it would have been such an I felt cheated by that one.
Yeah.
That and the Jets could have. Oh my God, the Jets in a non-Namath Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Oh, kind of bizarro world are we living in. But anyway, he's a transcendent player year one. 99, just more of the same. Only Jeff George is throwing him passes.
Yep. Second Pro Bowl.
11 touchdowns, over 1,400 yards. Go to the NFC wild card. They beat the Cowboys again, which I feel like had to feel sweet.
He got fined. This is the game where he got fined for squirting a water bottle at a ref. he does get a little silly out there.
He gets silly, but nothing. He doesn't do anything on the field beyond the pale.
Yes.
He just plays football.
Yep.
He just plays football. Then they play the greatest show on turf, and that was. If you like playoff games with no defense, that's one for you. It was a great game.
Yeah, it was like 45 to fucking
49 to 37.
That's it.
9 catches, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns in a loss.
In a loss.
You know why?
Crazy.
Because Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt are over there.
Yeah, they had just more offense. 2000 All Pro Bowl. That was the second time he was All Pro Bowl. And
15 tutties, leads the league receptions.
Leads the league.
Over 1,400 yards again. Vikings are really good, and this year he's got. So this is his third year in the NFL.
They bring up Culpepper.
Yeah. So this is Culpepper. This is his 4th starting quarterback.
Yes, and has been successful with every single one of them.
It's like we talked about with almost Sterling Sharp. Just put somebody the fuck out there.
Yeah, seriously though.
Dante Culpepper in this window before his knee explodes is actually a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback.
Really great.
Like,
yes.
So we're not of the group that we talked of before that we're talking about. He's the best one.
Yes,
and not really that close. Vikings are awesome that year. They beat that Aaron Brooks Saints team in the playoffs. Has a couple tutties and 121 yards in that game.
But then get absolutely annihilated by the Packers.
No, the Giants.
The Giants. No, you're right. You're right. The Giants.
I remember
41-0.
We went to Quiznos for lunch during this game. So like the game started and I'm sitting there and from we must have left at like halftime.
Oh yeah.
And we're just laughing halfway through, like, what more could happen to the fucking Vikings? Oh, God.
And Randy didn't have a good game. They really, shut out their entire offense.
Well, I mean, when you have fucking white power Jason Sehorn at the cornerback position.
Whoa. Whoa, last one.
No, Cooper DeJean. He just took that one in the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Oh, God. Jason Sehorn. Oh, God. That takes me back to a time. He was an incredible athlete. We're just joking.
We're just joshing.
Him being a crazy fuck. He played safety too. He was on those Rams teams.
Yeah, he was on those Rams teams.
So 2000.
Yeah, 2001.
This is the end for Denny Green in Minnesota.
I was just gonna say that.
We're gonna get into some Mike Tice derpage later, but 2001, the team kind of falls apart, but Randy's good.
Signs a big contracts, doesn't want the franchise tag.
Yeah.
They signed the contract right before week 1. And
his agent's name was Dominic, which is probably not good.
Hey.
Probably some mafia ties there.
Possibly.
They finished 5-11.
Yes.
No Pro Bowl there in 2001. 2002, 2003, though, what was it? September 24th, gets caught with weed in the car. Nothing like trafficking weed.
No, he just had personal. He's not like Damon Stoudemire.
No. You're not trying to go through security. You're just like, man, I made an illegal turn, and well, the car smells.
Yep.
But what was it? When he got out, there's that famous clip of the reporter asking, Randy, how do you pay off all these fines? And he's like, straight cash, homie.
Yep.
Oh,
straight cash.
Both those years, 2002, 2003, leads the league with 111 catches one year with over 1,600 yards and 17 TDs. Almost 3,000 receiving yards combined in both years.
What I find really interesting about these 2 years and possibly like 2000 is this is when teams are starting to scheme against him, where they're like, we're essentially a double zone on him, where there's two guys, one guy's dropped back so they can't beat him after the run, and he still gets ridiculous amounts of yards and receptions.
Yeah, you scheme so he doesn't destroy you.
Yes. It's almost mitigating it, where you're just like, he's gonna get his shit, but he's not taking off for 3 fucking over 50-yard
We're
receptions.
fine with 125 yards receiving, not 3 touchdowns.
Yes, exactly.
Like, someone else is going to have to beat us. Don't make the playoffs in 2002. They're pretty shitty. 2003, they start 6-0. And then in week 17, in a win the division and you're in, they lose to the Cardinals.
Yep.
If we ever do an episode on the 04 draft, that game needs to be talked about, because if Minnesota wins, the Cardinals have the first pick. San Diego goes further down the board, and we don't get any of the football specials requesting a trade. Mm-hmm. So
it would change so much.
It's like you always talk about spider webs. If we ever get in depth on this, that spider web, you go, Jesus Christ, the last 25 years are completely different, or 20 years are completely different in the NFL.
Yeah, because they go 9-7 and miss the playoffs on that last game. He actually has his 5th Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So 5 out of the 6 seasons he has Pro Bowls. The one time I don't think it was his fault.
No. That's the fault of Dante Culpepper getting injured, Todd Bauman taking snaps, and, well, Denny Green being pretty much in charge of the entire operation. 2004, though, great year. 8 touchdowns in the first 5 games. But he's hampered by some hamstring injuries. Also, I think hurts his hand. Has double-digit touchdowns, and they do make the playoffs, but that was that era where the NFC was like excluding maybe Philadelphia was just dog shit.
Yeah. So making the playoffs wasn't that great,
So I do want to add, though, this wild card game, they play Green Bay.
This is when they play Green Bay.
And Favre. This is the game that led them to draft Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Because of all the interceptions, because they let the Vikings stay in the game and eventually win. Randy, 2 touchdowns in the game. They win 31-17. On his second touchdown,
Oh, what does he do?
he fake moons the fans.
Which is one of the funniest.
I loved it. And when you know why he did it, perfect.
And here's my question, because did you watch this game? I remember watching this game with my dad, and my dad hated it, which then made me love it that much more.
Oh, shit, no, really?
Yeah, because he was just like, I can't believe this fucking whatever. And I was just like, that was hilarious.
The reason he did it was because Green Bay fans are fucking troglodytes, and their fans moon the opposing team's bus when they come into the stadium.
When they come into yes.
So if you didn't, I'm sure Green Bay fans laughed when he did that.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they thought it was hilarious. Even
He's
though
probably the first guy to do it. Like,
Yes.
they're like, fuck, our team sucks, but okay, Randy, we get it. But the Joe Buck did the old white man going, that is a disgusting act.
Exactly.
It's like, no, Mr. Buck, listening to you for 3 hours on Sunday is a disgusting act, you fucking hack. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Luckiest sperm, Joe Buck. So anyway, they go to play the Eagles the next round and get boat raced.
I was gonna say they just weren't at that level, and this is when the Vikings were like, Randy Moss, great player. We should probably trade him before we lose him in free agency.
They're thinking they need to rebuild, number 1. And number 2, Culpepper's contract is up after 2004. Or, excuse me, up after 2005.
Okay.
Because of the way the contracts are working and the salary cap, I think that also factored into their decision on who do we need to keep. Because at this point, even though he's been injured, his stock's never going to be any fucking higher than it is now.
Yes.
Randy Moss.
They're never going to get a return like they would at this point.
So March 2nd, 2005, they make... I don't fault them for doing this for what it was in the present. Further down the line, you're like, that was pretty fucking stupid.
But in the moment,
It's like the Russell Wilson trade.
It made sense.
It's like it made sense. It's for commiserate value. It's not like the Micah Parsons trade where you're like, I didn't know Quaaludes were still on the market.
Exactly.
So he's traded to the Raiders, and the Vikings net back starting linebacker Napoleon Harris and a first-round pick, which was 7th overall.
Mm-hmm.
They try and take his replacement in Troy Williamson, but they forgot apparently watching tape. He couldn't catch shit. He was like the kid in Little Giants, only worse.
Yes.
So it blows up in Minnesota's face, and it also blows up into Randy's face because he's basically being sent to football hell.
And I saw something where he talked about it because he was like, I was on the Vikings, which is a good organization. I went to the Raiders, which is a joke. And then I went to the Pats, which is a good organization. And you really realize what these teams do to win, because he was talking about as soon as he got to I think they played in Oakland at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as soon as you got to
They
Oakland,
didn't have a fucking quarterback.
yes, it was such a joke. They were almost like, no, we're gonna lose. We're a losing team.
I mean, this is when I think Aaron Brooks went there and he got hurt. And then you're shuffling through like Andrew Walter and Marcus Tuiasosopo and all that nonsense.
It was horrible.
And then you got to take hedonism bot later. But if you know who I'm talking about, that's a good reference.
Yeah.
But, so the first year, 2005, he has barely over 1,000 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. But the following year, he's had it. He's had it. Like, he's even going on the radio being like, I'm not motivated enough to play.
This is a quote that he just goes, I'm unhappy. I'm not too excited about what's going on, and it's affecting my concentration.
Yeah.
So he's literally like, it's so bad here. I don't give a shit. Nobody else gives a shit.
No.
Like, I'm just here for a paycheck, and
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
yes.
Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, multiple interviews like in a row where he was like, it's a joke here.
And he's like a lot of stars, particularly at non-quarterback positions, where you're going to go the way the team goes. Kind of reminds me of Jack Clark, where the only place it worked was St. Louis because they had their shit together.
Because they had their shit together. Yes.
Where you'll be like, oh, these guys are professionals. It shouldn't affect them. They're fucking human beings. It affects everyone unless you're a fucking sociopath like Tom Brady. No, or a nerd like Peyton Manning. Like, it doesn't, it weighs on you.
It weighs on you.
And for someone like him who's like, man, there were 4 guys in Minnesota, but they could at least throw me the goddamn ball.
Yes. At least I had somebody back there. Not like,
Brad Johnson won a fucking Super Bowl later.
yes, it's crazy.
So at that point, by the end of 2006 season, the Raiders are like, fuck it, we're going to give him away for a fucking ham sandwich and a used condom.
Yep. We're the Raiders.
And in that, I do remember watching this draft because the big story that wasn't related to the players being picked was, because you know how like we talked about in our 96 episode, it was like, where does Jerome Bettis go if he's going to get traded? That was the Randy Moss thing.
Because it was Packers or Patriots.
Because Donk Slinger was wanting one more shot.
And Aaron Rodgers came out and he was just like, can you name a receiver that strikes more fear in defenses than him? Why are we not going out and getting him?
Yeah.
And the Packers were just kind of like, yeah, I mean, we don't really care about our receivers. You could throw to whoever you want. And I mean, to New England's credit, they were like, we're going to pick up every good player we can.
So that was after 2 years. So they had won 3 out of 4. 2005, they got their shit pushed in by Denver. They just lost in the AFC Championship to one of the specials. They're angry.
Yes.
They had just got Welker as a restricted free agent for us. They traded more for Wes Welker than they did for Randy fucking Moss.
It's wild when you look at it.
So then they get into 07, and then like what happens is pretty much my entire bit on evil in football.
Yes.
Is Moss experiences a fucking renaissance. I mean, people thought, and that was the crazy part. People thought New England gave up too much for him. They were thinking that that he was washed. He was done.
Yes, and it was more of like, no. He doesn't want to play for this team that doesn't want to win.
In a baseball stadium?
It's in a baseball stadium. And then essentially comes to the Pats, and you're like, oh, Vikings Randy Moss.
Oh, you mean this fucking team with Bill Belichick, coached by Bill Belichick, and that has Tom Brady? Oh, who knows how to get him the ball? So 2007, arguably one of the greatest years by a wide receiver in league history.
Yep.
98 grabs, just under 1,500 yards, 23 pass receiving touchdowns. I know we have the extra game now, Chris, but that's going to be a tough one to catch.
That one he was so good, and you could tell he was just so pissed off at being a Raider.
Yeah.
And people talking shit, like you were saying, like when they made the trade, they were like, that's for too much. What is he going to be, your third receiver? Like that kind of like really stupid thinking. And then he just like has one of those seasons where you're like, oh yeah, Randy Moss is going to be a Hall of Famer.
I distinctly remember people talking shit about him then, like on broadcast television,
Yes.
where like, you know, YouTube was in its infancy then. I hope people timestamp that shit.
Yeah.
It's like the old Todd McShay going like, I think Brian Brom could beat out Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, exactly.
Do you, Todd? Do you? Oh, so they make the playoffs. Why do they make the playoffs? They go 16-0.
Yep.
They just boat raced everybody. Opening round, the postseason, they play Jacksonville. Win that game pretty handily. And then they play the Chargers after Phillip Rivers' knee exploded in the previous round. To their credit, San Diego gave them a hell of a fight in that game.
With no quarterback.
With a guy playing on one leg,
Yes.
essentially. New England wins that. And then they're in the Super Bowl, and you're thinking, if this team wins all of their games post-Spygate, like, maybe God isn't real, or sports God isn't real.
Well, I find this interesting because Randy Moss, both times that he should have won a Super Bowl with the Vikings and with
Highest scoring team in the NFL's history.
they keep losing to the Giants, which is crazy.
Oh, so in 2000, that would have been a fucking lit Super Bowl.
Yes.
Vikings Ravens.
Yep.
Oh man, would that have been gnarly? I still think Baltimore would have just.
I still think because their defense was so good, but you who knows?
Yeah. God damn it, Minnesota! You just ruined everything.
I know.
For everyone.
I was going to say the Giants, but whatever.
Except comedy. No, the Giants did Jesus' work here and a few years later. I will never forget. So my dad always used to root for the AFC in Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Unless it was the Raiders, because I was an old AFL fan.
But when did they make
so
a Super Bowl?
as a Notre Dame fan, he fucking loathed Tom Coughlin.
Oh yeah.
So that 93, the year before Moss, 2 years before Moss gets there, they're 11-0 or 10-0 going into if they beat Boston College, they go to the Orange Bowl and win national championship. Fucking Tom Coughlin. So, never rooted for Tom Coughlin.
That's
and
hilarious.
he was the Jacksonville coach when they beat Denver in the fucking.
Oh Jesus.
He might have been the only person I knew rooting for the fucking Patriots who wasn't from Boston.
Yep.
So you get to the Randy might have been the Super Bowl MVP if the game stopped 2 minutes before it did.
Yes, because he scores the go-ahead touchdown.
They're up 14-10.
With, I think it was like 2:40 left.
2:42 to go.
Yep.
And then football on the spectrum shows up. Someone gets ultra special with that ultra forehead. Probably could have caught the helmet catch by himself.
He had an extra bit of strength. We don't know where that strength came from.
There's a term for this strength, but we don't use it anymore.
No, we don't.
We don't, because this is the wokest sports comedy podcast out there. We don't use it, but obviously Eli Manning comes out, David Tyree helmet catch, Plexico Burress plays the hero, they win 17-14, and you're like, 18-1.
It's crazy when you think about it, because
what was that locker room like afterwards?
they should have won that Super Bowl by a lot.
Oh my God. I don't even know how the hell the second one happened.
I don't know.
God. So you're thinking, okay, whatever. And mind you, Randy, as far as his contract, it's done after 2007.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
And I'm also thinking that's what played into the draft pick compensation is there might have been some teams like, oh, we're going to take a flyer on this guy and we have to re-sign him again.
Yes.
He goes back to New England, which kind of, I didn't know that part. that was what surprised me is I would have thought he'd be like, oh, I'll go somewhere else. But he probably figured, we just won all but one of our games.
Yes.
Satan is my quarterback and all of his power. Everything is going to go great. And we get into week 1 in 2008. And then the greatest possible thing fucking happens for everyone else. Not for Randy, but for everyone else.
Tom Brady just goes down.
I'm just saying, I'll give you a hand job, Bernard Pollard. I'll give it to you. Wherever you are, you have an IOU for one Dom DiTola hand job.
Matt Castle comes in, and they're just not the same team.
They're still good.
They're still good.
They win 11 games,
Yeah.
but they miss the playoffs.
Yes.
And Randy has a good year, all things considered, over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Next year, though, 2009, Brady's back. They're great again.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the year 09, in the last week of the season, Bernard Pollard tears Wes Welker's knee.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So you're down. Randy has another great year. He's still making Pro Bowls, 13 tutties, almost 1,300 receiving yards. But we talked about this in the Gronk episode. This was the playoff game at home against Baltimore where they get absolutely their shit pushed in again.
Yes.
This is 5 years in a row of no titles and something needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
And now Randy's 33 and he wants another contract. This last one he signed with New England is year 3. He's entering the last year of his contract without anything further in 2010. And some malcontentness comes into play here.
Yes, because he wants an extension. He wants like 2 years. He wants the assurance that like I'm going to be here for the future, and that's not Patriots football. They look for
it's not financial sense considering
Yes.
his age.
Yes.
And what the best dynasties do, they cut guys a year early as opposed to a year late. They don't cut
reload.
him,
No.
but what they essentially do is
Get value.
he's getting pissed off. He's traded in 2010 to Minnesota.
To the Vikings.
Which you're thinking, oh, they're going to jumpstart it. We just came off of a Favre near-miss season.
Yep.
And then the Wiener picks come out. Randy gets pissed off. He's alienating his teammates. His child molester-looking coach, Brad Childress, hates him. Like,
It really was because I remember this trade, and people are like, dude, this is going to be so great back in Minnesota.
Favre and Moss.
Dude, it tanked so quick. They waived him at the end of the season.
Yeah, they had had enough.
They did like they signed him for like 2 years, and they were like, no, we're done. We don't want you to come back. That's how bad it dropped off.
Stay the fuck away, Randy. 2011, he retires.
Yeah, he retired.
Which I remember when that happened, I'm thinking, well, he's still one of the 3 best receivers ever, but you'd think he'd ring chase, right?
Yeah.
And then in 2012,
He comes back.
that's what he decides to do. Yeah, because in 2010, he had signed with the Titans. He
Oh, he's
finished the season with
the
Tennessee.
Titans. Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't even last the whole rest of the season in Minnesota.
No.
March 12th, 2012, he joins the 49ers. And he joined, for a very specific reason, like they're Super Bowl or bust.
Yes.
That season. They go all the way to the Super Bowl. They are inside the 10 fucking yard line. I never trust them. I never fucking trust them.
No.
They're the biggest fucking, you're playing fucking Baltimore, you fucking assholes. Well, let's just say khakis McGee and throws a Parks fuck it up for him inside the 10.
Yes.
They end up losing. He had, 2 catches for 41 yards in the game, and they deny him his last shot at a ring.
And he's one of those players that I felt like should have had a ring. Not like those players that were like, well, he was good enough. He didn't play on a team. He should have got a ring in New England. And
He should have got a ring in Minnesota the first time.
the Minnesota, yes. And then, to be honest, the 49ers could have won that game. But
The lights going out did have a lot to do with it.
that was so wild.
Because of that
I
comeback.
forgot about
Because
that.
Baltimore was just kicking the crap out of them.
And then the lights go out for like an hour or whatever it was. They were like, oh, sorry about that. We need our guys to just kind of rest a little.
Oh God, what a just a disaster. And I look at it because people always say Jerry Rice is the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine Jerry Rice's career if he had it with quarterbacks like Randy Moss. Sure, you get that window with Montana/Brady, but then you get your Steve DeBergs and your fucking Jeff Garcias and Tim Rattays in the mix.
But first 4 years,
Garcia was good, but not like fucking,
Brady, Montana. The first 4 seasons, he had 4 different quarterbacks. He Pro Bowled, I think, every single one of them. And had record-breaking seasons for a rookie. He was so good. It was like the opposite of Aaron Rodgers, where they were like, no, we don't need receivers. You're good enough to just throw to whoever. They were like, we don't need quarterbacks. The ball's just going to be up in the air, and you're going to go grab it.
It's like if you turn Tim Brown into a more athletic Gumby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only other guy I knew who's probably had it worse. But finishes his career 982 catches, 15,292 yards, 156 touchdowns, a punt return touchdown, 2 TD pass. Basically, if you want to rank T.O. ahead of him, I'm not going to get mad at you. Name me someone better than Jerry Rice.
I was just going to say Rice for me, number 1, and then we could start talking. You know what about
splitting hairs between Moss and T.O.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's no wrong answer. It's just a preference.
Yes, exactly.
Because both of them don't have rings either.
No, which is wild when you think about it.
God. Anyway, named to the Hall of Fame, first year of eligibility, 2018. Named to the NFL's 100th anniversary team.
Yep.
Which much deserved, like we said, when you're that high on the list of guys at your own position. Basically, God, he's an all-timer.
Yes.
And we're never going to see another guy like him again. Not like that, because when I think Megatron, I think just a more athletic T.O., not necessarily a Moss, different kind of receiver. But, goddamn, dude, like, what would a ring have gotten him?
I know. And he was so close twice.
Oh man, and he's fantastic in the studio booth.
I thought he was great in the studio booth. He was somebody that was just very like,
and he's got one of those Tony Gwynn voices where you're like, where did that? You do sound like you're from West Virginia.
Yeah, loose and like, you know what, boys? Like, I can't even do that accent, but I actually really enjoyed him.
This is Brett Favre here.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. No, Randy Moss,
and he's recovering from bile duct cancer now.
Yes.
So. Hope you're on the mend there, Randy. Don't want to see you go, buddy. But thank you.